Hey y'all, I'm just making another video. As you see, this video is going to be a very first review, and I will be reviewing Drumline 2, A New Beat. As you see, it premiered Monday night, which was last night for me. Will probably be most likely be up tomorrow. I watched the movie. I saw it twice. One time just to watch it, and another time to freak out who the fuck was in the movie from State, and to write these notes. It's too much notes to write. After seeing it twice, that's all I needed to see. And all that kinds of shit. And also, shout out to the State. As you see in the end, for whoever was in the Southern team in the end, the dude with the colorful dreads, he went to State. His name is Nico, if you happen to see him again in that movie. And there's a few other people from State. One person from Benedict. Few from A&T, few from Winston-Salem, and all the other black schools. Shout out to everybody that participated from HBCUs in this movie. So, and one more thing, my thoughts on this movie, it was awesome. Well, not awesome, it was okay. They didn't really need to do this remake. Not remake, but like, they didn't really need to do another movie to this. I mean, I understand that they wanted to make another chapter, see what happened 12 years later. It was cool for what it was. I mean, that's all I got to say about it. I mean, well, also, I agree with some of the movie. Now, band-wise, I can't speak to you on that because I've never participated in band or the Marching 101 at South Carolina State University. But what I will say is my HBCU experience matching up with their experience, or what VH1 or whoever produced the movie, Miss Wendy, what she would have made it seem like, it doesn't match up. I mean, it mirrors it, but it doesn't match. A real live HBCU experience is so much better than what I saw in that movie. But, you know, black people are some of us are our own critics, and it'd be bad. But that's all I want to say about the movie. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get started on this review. Now, in this movie, we're going to talk about the characters. The first character, the main character of the movie is Danny, who is a girl that's wanna get out of home, just like in the movie Drumline. Dennis want to leave New York, go to school, because he's in the band. It starts off the same way, except she has a cousin that go there, and his name is Tyreek, who is a section leader, along with this dude named Armando, or whatever the fuck his name is, and a few other golden players from the other movie, like Sean, who was a section leader in the movie at the time. Now he's taking over Dr. Lee's spot, and Dr. Lee was the band director, so Sean Taylor is the band director, and he has an old love interest named Dean Phillips. I don't remember her fucking name, but her character migrated from the last movie because she was one of them girls that was pretending to be a majorette. And you have Danny's love interest, J. Pierre. We'll talk about him later. Her roommate Tasha, their crab brother Josh, the white boy, and the other crab brother / J. Pierre roommate Leon, and everybody else. So let's get started with this movie. So yeah, the movie starts off in New York. She graduates high school. She came from a private school, which paints the picture that her parents have money. They control her with every move, and they want her to go to not just a PWI, but a good school, most likely a PWI. It seemed like they don't want her at HBCU, or they don't want her at that school. I don't know the situation because it's a movie. They didn't really explain it to us, like how it seemed. Maybe it was a little more detailed and made more sense. Like if they would have gave it an extra hour, but it was only 2 hours. So anyway, she goes off in the park actually they was in Westchester. The school was in Westchester. They go to Brooklyn. That's where she met up her cousin. Her cousin congratulating her cousin Tyreek. And he was like, I'm so excited for you. You getting ready to go off to the damn band at A&T. I can't believe your parents letting you go there and all that stuff. And then she showed us a little piece of her talent when she was playing with the street performers in Brooklyn. And then she goes home. Parents gave her a fucking car gift, a gift. Her gift was a car. But the trick was it had some strings to it, and the strings was in order to get the car. They want her somewhere else, not going to A&T. They argue, they fight, whatever. They didn't like it, they didn't agree. But when she proved that she's saying she want to do this on her own, she don't care. They cut her off. She will make it there without their assistance. Her dad was like, you know what? That's fine. It's cool. We're gonna let you do this because we love you anyway. And then they go to Atlanta with Tyreek. Tyreek gets out the car, and then he was explaining to her about the school and shit. And later, she meets up with her roommate, and she also introduces Thought. We're going to talk about that Thought a little later because she has an important role in this movie. So, she has a roommate, Tasha, and then they all both talk and shit and all that stuff. What we know about Tasha is she's country, she's clean, and she will not cut you in your sleep. And that's all we need to know about Tasha. So, we end up going to the meeting. The meeting had a bunch of freshmen in it, so it was a freshman band meeting talking about what they're going to do in the band, whatever we need to know, we don't really care. Which we also introduced to the other section leader, Armando. So after that meeting, that's when they meet Leon, who is one of their new Crab Brothers / roommate to J. Pierre, which we also meet him in the party. So it was all cool, whatever. It was cool for what it was. And then when they go to the party, that's when Danny ends up finding out who J. Pierre is. Leon introduces him. Well, he tells them about what he is, and then that's when they also find out Leon's gay. That's cool. So anyway, she meets up in the movie. She meets up in the party. J. Pierre spends some game, regular freshmen meeting freshmen shit, trying to cuff and shit, that kind of talk. And then party gets shut off, and the lights shut off in the party. And then the section leaders was like, okay, it's time for Hell Week, because we your mama, when your daddy, and then we'll be there for the next few weeks, 3 weeks, practicing, seeing if you're gonna be ready and all that shit. And then they're taken to this disclosed location, which turned out to be a football field, Clark Atlanta football field. And they just talking about the band, being crabs and shit, and fucking all that shit. And then one of them brought up J. Pierre to play a piece because he's a child of a celebrity named Jimmy LaPierre, or whatever that name is. His dad named Jimmy, so he's a celebrity. He's a singer. So he proved himself that he was just more than a celebrity's child. And then some reason they got Danny to play because she proved that she's more than a girl that can just play the drums. They see that she wants to do something, and we're going to find that out later on in the movie. So back to them, coming back from them, we end up meeting Dean Phillips, and the new the new band director. His name is Sean Taylor. We met him as the section leader back in the old Drumline. He came back to his alma mater to take the job and help them because they haven't really did shit or won shit in the last 10 years. I should say, no more than 12. So he's going to help the band get back on the map and all that shit. And Dean Taylor just working there as Dean of Student Affairs or whatever. And all that shit. They talk and reminisce and say that they miss school. And then they bring his brother into the picture, who was also on the band back in the old Drumline movie, played by somebody else. So his brother is the band director for Southern State University, which is a rivalry school. So both of them are rivals. They're talking about why this happened, why that happened, why did Kevin... I think he found out Dean Taylor works there, and then he was telling them, like, damn, she's still fine, even though I divorced her 5 years ago, which also turns out to be Sean's girl back in the movie. But then they broke up. We're going to find out why this happened later on in the movie. So anyway, continuing on, we get to damn practice. They practice for 3 weeks. As things get improving, Danny and J. Pierre are freaking getting closer and closer and all that kinds of shit. So they get to know each other. One day they was in the damn band room. He was talking to her. I hope I ain't that far now. I guess he misread what she was saying that she know him because he came from a rich family, but he was like, he kind of spazzed out, Drake syndrome. So anyway, she explained the situation and it was cool. Then I guess later on in the movie, that's when they met up in the hallway in the co-ed dorm, even though my co-ed dorm that I stayed at was never like that. I wish. But like, they kissed in the hallway. A little temptation was there, shirt off and all that shit. So it was cool for what it was. So after all that, they went to practice. Yeah, after practice, after she came in the shower, I hope that's the right part. That's when. Oh, I'm too far. Damn, I'm so unprepared. Yeah, they talk about practice, da. So they getting ready to talk about auditions and shit. Awesome, yeah. So after that, before we get there, Danny was looking for a job because she got cut off. Yes, we remember she got cut off. So her parents cut her off. She got to pay a cell phone bill. She's looking for a job. So she finds Dean Phillips, asks her for a job, and all that kinds of shit. She begged the girl for a job. Dean Phillips sympathized with her because she had to go through the same thing back in college. She used to wash the dishes. So she's like, okay, if you do this and come to me tomorrow or something like that, we can get you a job. So now she serves at a pit or some kind of restaurant or something on campus. That's all I know about that. And what else happened? Yes, auditions. So we come to auditions 3 weeks later. So in auditions, everybody made it in. Everybody made it in. Leon made it. Josh made it. Tasha made it. JVR made it. Danny made it, but they put her down as B2 because a situation is about to occur, and we about to find out later on in the movie. So after practice, she had felt some type of way. Her cousin was like, "You still good? I mean, don't feel bad. You still good though." So eventually, what else happened? Yeah, I jumbled a little bit, but anyway, we on the same page. So this is where we go back to Sean and Dean again, going back to the office, talking and shit. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm a little too ahead. So they getting ready to start their game, right? Yeah, we getting ready to start their game. So they start their first game. They performed. They did good. It was awesome. And then the situation that we about to talk about, before they started the game, they was in the locker room about to get ready to perform. So she told Tasha, "I'll be right back because I need to get my hat." And then the section leaders came in. One of them was like, "Armando, you was so wrong for what you did." He's like, "I ain't want no bitches on the damn drum line." And then when she heard that too, so when she heard that, she felt challenged. And then when they got on the field, that's when they was doing good, whatever. So when Drumline came through, that's when she decided to come push up like Devin did in damn Drumline. Pulled the same stunt, walked up in the line, and all that kinds of stuff. They wasn't about to let her through, but she got to the other side, and JPA was like, "Oh, I like that shit. She got some balls right there." So after the damn performance was over, her cousin was trying to figure out what the problem was and why she did that. Armando said the same thing, it's like a control hug or whatever. So she told her cousin what was down. She was like, "I only did it because a bitch can prove herself that she can do the shit too." Basically, yeah, I think we understand what that meant. Everybody got mad and left, basically. And yes, Tasha, she was in the room with Tasha talking about that shit. Tasha was like, "Don't worry about it. You know Armando went through the same thing. I heard he went through the same thing when he was trying to get on the band." struggling and they wouldn't let him on there because of the situation. And then that's when their cry brother Leon came to the room. I remember everything now. Leon came to the room, shirt off and everything. Tasha was like, "Ooh, I know you're gay and everything, but like, you can't just be revealing your chocolate secrets to everybody. I just can't have it." And you know, sitting there laughing. They about to get ready to go to the party, basically. So JPA was like, "Hey, you want to come to the party with us and chill, whatever? We should come out." And basically, he liked what she did earlier, so they decided to go party and shit. So everybody's there, and then we also meet Mike trying to dance with Tasha, and Tasha just walked away in the damn party. Leon and JPA was talking about Danny and shit, but also Leon has a love interest too, which we met on the football field. I didn't talk about it. My bad. Who's a football player on the DL. So, damn, I revealed too much, but we're gonna talk about that in the club. So when Jay went to go get Danny, Leon was walking back to the club, and then the football player grabbed him, put him on the wall, and just planted a kiss on him. At the same time that Danny and Jay was kissing. So everybody got what they wanted. They was excited. Everybody was hyped, feeling good, getting ready to go back to school, right? And this old man came up to Jay and was like, "Hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. Your daddy's in town. You should come see him perform." And then everybody was like, he was like, "No." So everybody was like, "Yeah, you should come see him." So everybody was like, "Okay, let's go see him." So we come to the club, right? And then wait for his dad to come out and introduce him. So everybody sat down and shit, and then his dad came out drunk as fuck on that Beyonce shit, tipsy and everything, falling off the stage and shit. When he got on the microphone, he fell down and busted that ass. Everybody was looking all foolish and shit. Like, yeah, he had too much. And then we found out something happened. So after that happened, and he found out his son was in the building, that's when they put the light on the damn stage. And when the light came to him, he left. Tasha was like, "Don't leave, Danny. Let him be. Let him cool off." Danny texted him, and then she texted him again when outside the dorm. He came in the dorm and just pissed off. Then they talked about it. Then he was like, "See, y'all think everything, y'all know everything about me, but y'all don't know nothing. Y'all think I got a rich daddy who's a fucking celebrity. Y'all think everything's so smooth, but we all clear to find out that he abused drugs. He's an alcoholic. He likes drugs. He spent all their money, all that shit going on fucking drugs. The only reason he's still performing is to feed his damn addiction. That's why he tried to help him. He was trying to help him earlier, but then at the same time, Danny caught him selling weed earlier and he wasn't sure, and that's why she was explaining that he was selling weed because of his fix, and that's why he don't got no money, and that's why they're trying to pay for college, and he's struggling to pay for college. So that's why he's selling weed and all that kind of shit. So after that, they kissed and make up, simple shit. I think I'm a little ahead. Somewhere down the line. Yeah, let me come back to them real quick. So Sean and Dean were just talking and reminiscing and shit. She talking about why she been single all the last 3 years after their brother. So after she separated from Kevin, she was single. She was married to a job. She didn't really do shit with her life except work all the time. She talking about she missed how it feels to have a man be in a relationship, rub her feet, listen to slow jams. And then they started dancing to Jodeci and shit. And then Armando was in the room. He came in the room and was like, "Hey, we on the fucking blogs. We caught their attention, so you might need to see what the hell is going on." So his brother over at Southern's caught the attention. He was like, "Well, since we're about to get ready to play them, let's be prepared and let's just give them a show to prepare for." So that's when he was like, "Damn, we gotta get ready for them niggas in." So after that, let's go back to the scene where we in bed. So her father, Danny's father, called her and was like, "Hey, what's going on? What's been happening? Like, is everything going on in school? I see your bills overdue and you ain't paid it yet." She's like, "No, I'm good. I can handle it. I got a job. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pay that shit tomorrow." And he was like, "Okay, so how's school going?" "Well, making out." And then she was like, "What you mean?" She was like, "Damn, he know I'm fucking." She's like, "What you mean, Dad?" He was like, "How's school going?" See, now VH1 fucking up with that little fucking Disney Channel, Nickelodeon sex scene. That shit wasn't even no sex. It was just kissing and they fell asleep together like fucking 12-year-old churn. Something that you would see on fucking Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon got more freedom than VH1 doing. They ain't showing sex scenes. But other than that, that's where we met off. She woke up and went back to the room. Hopefully, they getting ready to fucking get ready for the game and shit. So after that shit, they talked about it. Did they talk about it? Roommates been talking. Oh yeah, I'm ahead. I'm very ahead. So they getting ready for the game. No, they was in practice, and then Dean came out and talked to Sean. Dean was like, "Hey, since situations change, everybody going ahead and leave. Practice over, and then Drumline, y'all stay." So he was like, because the situation happened, we're gonna give Danny a chance to perform himself again, but somebody gotta give up their seat. So they ended up picking Jay. So Jay was like, "What the fuck?" And she was like, "What the fuck?" So Jay performed. He was okay, but he kind of fucked up. And then Danny performed killer ass off, took his seat. He got mad, had a Drake moment, and left the field, and all that kind of shit. So that same night, the roommates was talking about it, right? Oh no, I'm too far. Oh no, I'm good. Yeah. So they talked about it. So that same night, let me make sure, because I'm thinking I'm fucking up. Yeah, roommates was talking about it, and then that's when we revealed that fucking, yeah, to be on the safe side, I'm gonna come after that. So when she got on the motherfucking whatever, they come out to perform against them Southern or whatever. So they performed first, and then Southern performed at fucking halftime, and then they decided to go ahead and cancel it. And then Southern was like, "Hey, they want to challenge the Drumline." So the Drumline came back out because Kevin kept pissing off Sean. So Sean was like, "Y'all bring your asses back on the field." And then they did what they do. Everybody was cool until Danny dropped the sticks. And when she dropped the sticks, a lot of shit happening. Armando called her a bitch after that shit. Her cousin fought Armando, and then everybody was about to fight. And then somebody on Southern side was like, "We can't do nothing with these niggas because they over there being ratchet." And then everybody started fighting, even the white girl on Southern side. So we're gonna come back to that. So in that situation, I guess after the dean did that situation, switch them out. Oh yeah, I'm a little far. Yeah, after they switched out the positions, that's when he was going. She texted him all night to find out where Jay was at. Jay had the Drake mode, so Jay was like, "Look, you just couldn't handle the fact that you fucking didn't get your position, so you had to be a daddy's girl, run away from the situation, and like all that shit, and just be a bitch about it." So after that, not only he's right there, Armando's behind him. There was some girls, and he's walking with that same thought that was talking to Kevin. So, and then Armando was like, "I'll see you in practice tomorrow," laughing and shit, and she was over there looking stupid. Now let's go back to after the performance. After the performance, the Dean was talking to Sean, was like, "Look, we about to lose our spot. We about to lose the hosting situation. The school ain't about to get no funding because of this situation. So you gotta make some changes." And they had an argument, and then she left. And after that argument, he had a meeting, and then that same meeting, he was like, "Since this situation happened, we're gonna let go Danny and Jay. Y'all still gonna be on the band, but y'all gonna be P4s, which meaning you won't be marching, and you gotta clean up equipment up." That same night, he ended up calling somebody, which turns out to be Devin from Drumline, main character from the last movie. So Devin comes through when everybody was at practice, cleaning the drums and shit, and performing, and then he was like coming out to help and shit. So eventually, that same night, Dean and freaking Sean was supposed to be eating out that night, and then he was talking to Devin that same night at dinner. Then they was talking about some stupid shit, and then they had another argument. Dean and Sean had another argument, so I forgot what the fuck they was talking about because it was irrelevant. And then after that, later that night, later that night, what happened? Where we at? Oh, we good. So later that night, yeah, I said that. So Jay, yeah, later that night, Jay, Mike, and Tasha are talking about. I'm sorry, I had a hard time reading my shit, so I don't know what I wrote. Jay, Josh and Tasha are talking, and yeah, I think somewhere down the line, not only that they're not marching, I think, yeah, Josh revealed that he can't be marching with them anymore because he fell in his chemistry class, and that's when we found out Tasha was kind of smart. So she was like, I'm going to help you and tutor you because during the whole time, Josh was hollering and trying to hit on freaking Tasha, trying to spit some game and shit, even though he white. So we see how that goes later on in the movie. So after that scene, I guess. No. Also, the dinner scene. Also, Leon was talking to the football player, texting and shit. So while everybody was talking, he was texting and shit, and then he was like, "I gotta go because I have a date," but he never told who the date was. So that's when we come back to that scene. So after all them scenes, that's when we come to the dinner scene where she was working that night. Danny was working that night, and then Jay was eating out with that thought. So the thought went to the bathroom, and fucking Danny was talking. He was like, "I haven't talked to you in a while. We need to talk." He's like, "What we gotta talk about?" And then he's like, "Yeah, let me order some wings." She was like, "Are you for real? Are you serious?" They had a little mini argument, and then she was like, "This wasn't the reason why we ain't together. You and that thought was the reason why we ain't together, even though this situation occurred." And then that's when the thought came out of the bathroom. She's like, "Okay, y'all done talking? I'm ready to sit down and shit." Like she owned the place or something. Danny just got mad and left. And make sure I cover everything because I'm done with half the movie almost. Yeah, we doing good. So after that situation, Leon and Danny was talking about the situation with her and Jay. And Leon was like, "Hey, do you want me to talk to Jay? Because I can knock some sense into my roommate and shit. You sure you want me to talk to him?" And Danny was like, "Nah." So later, while they was talking and walking, that's when he came across this Greek table with a football player who was actually in that Greek, whatever the fuck that Greek name was, because it had 4 fucking syllable letters. So he's like, I didn't know you was in the Greek." He's like, "Yeah, I love community service and shit." And then Danny was like, "Ooh, I want to meet him." She didn't say it like that. She was just coughing like. So she was like, "Oh, this is my girl, Danny." And he was like, "Okay, cool. Nice to meet her." And then his girlfriend came out of nowhere, and then that's when we found out his download. He was like, "Hey, this is my girl, this." And then that's when he had that strange look on his face. And then it was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not know. Are you okay?" And then he just got mad and left and said, "I'll see you later" and shit. And then after that happened, she walked to the tent, talked to her cousin at the tent. She was like, "I haven't talked to you in a minute either. I just want to know what you feel." He said, "You acting like you own this place, like you own the spot. Like the spot was guaranteed to you. You didn't work for that shit, really. You acting like it's just expected to you. You just used to having rich parents, this, that, and whatever." Same talk everybody giving that Jay giving talking. So after that situation, he was like, "Man, you shouldn't even be here. After that, you might as well just leave. You should have just went to Spelman or something. Like your parents want you to leave instead of come here." And then she got mad. And she's like, "You know what, fuck it. I'm leaving. I quit my job. No more band. I'm going to Spelman." So after that, that's when the next day, I guess, she packs her shit up and then talks with the Crab brothers, Crab sisters, and roommate about the situation. It's like, "You shouldn't leave. No, this is not the way to do this. Have you even talked to Jay?" And when they said that, that's when it was like, that's when she was like, "I gotta go. My dad's outside. So y'all don't be late for practice. I'm already coughed enough." So the parents come up. It was like, "I'm glad you chose this decision because we knew you was ready to come home," and some shit like that. And then they had an argument. The parents had an argument while that happened, she was reminiscing about the situation. What happens if she would stay on that band? And she was like, "Fuck it, I want to prove myself that I can stay. I didn't just come here to quit. I earned that spot. I'm going to earn my spot the right way." And it was okay and cool with it. So she come back to practice after she was trying to tell them. She told director, "Hey, I'm not quitting no more. That letter I gave to you on your desk, don't even read it." And then she told her cousin the same shit. And then everybody was cool again, I guess. Before that happened, yeah, before that happened, Devin was out. They had a meeting, and Devin was out in the field with them because he was like, he wanted to show them something. So after they was showing off their skills that they used to do back in their day, beating the drums and shit, that's when Devin was like, okay, this is what y'all need to be focusing on. Y'all don't need to be fighting. Y'all don't need to be bitching. Y'all just need to be doing this. This is why we was here. We made a legacy for y'all, so that's why you're here in college trying to get this shit over with. We are the marching, whatever the fuck they is, and one band, one sound. That same bullshit Dr. Lee used to give them. That's what they giving the crabs. So after that situation, we're getting close to the Southern, what that shit called? Oh my god, Southern Jamboree Classic, which is like the BT Classic if you saw the Drumline. It's just like that. Anything else happening? Because I don't want to skip no more parts. Yeah. So that same night, Danny, Leon, Tasha, and Mike, they was all in the bitch talking and shit. And then that's when Mike came in happy, smiling, saying he passed his chemistry test. And then the girl, Tasha, was like, "No, a C's a failing grade. No, I passed. I got enough to fucking march with y'all again." And they was screaming excited. And then Danny and Leon was looking like, "Y'all got something to tell us?" And then everybody knows that Josh was fucking trying to get with the girl. Tasha was like, "I ain't want you." But before that happened, while Tasha was trying to tutor this man, she went through a box of old items and shit. So he saw her pictures and shit from when she was in high school. She had nerdy pictures. That's when he found out she was a nerd. And he's like, even though you're smart and whatever, I still like you for you. And then he's like, you look good with glasses on and shit. And she was like, "Oh, thank you." And now we're going back to after he passed the test. So after he passed the test, that's when he was like, "Look, I'm confessing my love for you. I like you. You should date me." "Why you didn't want to date me? Is it because I'm white?" "Nah, I don't." She's like, "Nah, it ain't like that. I dated white people before." So eventually she stopped fronting and decided to go on one date. She's like, "One date?" Now, if you remember that storyline with that dude who crossed KK side and that girl that was acting hardcore, that's the same storyline they picking up from Drumline. Basically, except just mixing it around. So after that situation, everybody getting ready to go perform. That same night, that's when Jay and Danny bump into each other again. She saw him outside after work, trying to convince him to come. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. It looked like he was selling drugs or something. He was like convincing him to fucking get ready for tomorrow because you haven't been in practice like that. I haven't seen you in a while and all that kind of shit. Jay don't want to do that. He's on his light skin mode, Drake syndrome. You know he ain't trying to do that shit. So basically, he was like, "I don't know. We'll see what happens," and all that kinds of bullshit. So the next day, fucking, oh man, I'm about to mess up. Same night again. Sean ran to Dean outside running and shit. So we found out why she divorced Kevin, because after that situation, she reveals that Sean was an egomaniac. So after that situation, that's why she mistaken her feelings for Kevin because she was still on her feelings for Sean. So after that situation, realized that she divorced Kevin, and that's why she's been single for a while. But we all know those old lovers. They're going to probably hook up back up or whatever. So anyway, leading to the motherfucking night of the Jamboree Classic. So everybody's getting ready. Everybody's excited. That when the night of the damn shit, that's when Sean apologized to Dean about being an egomaniac and all that shit. Whatever the fuck they was talking about, they got together and they fucking were good again. Then the damn band came through. Everybody's performing, and then it was time for the performance. Before they performed, it was in the damn they was in the locker room again meeting. Before they started, she came through. Danny came back in the room. Armando tried to play her again. Her cousin stood up to her, and then she stood up to him, and that's when Jay walked in the room, and Jay was like, "Hey, leave her alone, bro." And then everybody was cool. She was smiling and shit. You know, she got that feelings for that boy. So then everybody came on the field. Everybody was cool. Then Southern came through the field, and that's when A&T came out. They showed out. They was good. They automatically won that shit. You know, Southern was not feeling that shit, so they wanted them to challenge. So they had their little challenge. They went on one challenge. Southern went first. Then the Drumline and A&T came out. They had on masks and shit and all that kinds of stuff. Beating drums upside down and shit and took the mask off. That shit was hard. Then Southern went down again, and then the lights went off in the field, and that's when A&T was showing it out again, performing sticks and shit. They was performing and beating drums at night with fucking glow sticks, doing their best, doing flips and everything. That shit was hard as hell. And then everybody knows A&T won that shit in the last 6 years. A&T is the winner. And everybody's together. Sean and Dean got together after fretting for so many years, and fucking Jay and oh damn, I messed up something. Jay and Danny got together that same night. Leon was single again after he not told off, but he found out and revealed that football player was in DL. So he was like, I ain't about to do that shit again. You're on your own. Bye, deuces. I guess Josh and Tasha dated. Everybody was cool again, and that's the end of the movie. Drumline 2, A New Beat. So I hope y'all enjoy this review, because this is my first review, and this is my first movie. So this is crazy. This is long. It took me 2 times to watch this shit, and now we're good. Hopefully I didn't miss shit, because I felt like I did. If not, that's cool. Write down your comments, suggestions, questions, all that shit. Share your video with your friends, watch it, and all that kinds of stuff. Like it, subscribe to my channel, leave many topics that you wanted me to talk about before I leave and go to basic training, because I'm leaving December 30th. And also, I want to say thank y'all for supporting my HBCU video. I decided to do the review for this movie, which is HBCU related, even though it was kind of not needed, but shit, I just felt the generous movement to do that shit. So I want to thank y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Have a great day.